Hi, Julie and I are just back from Manchester, where we spent a lovely relaxing weekend with our daughter Gabriela and her partner Ryan. Today we'll be cooking a lemon pasta with almonds, very simple dish. And during that meal I will tell you a little bit about my visit to Manchester, as I never planned to cook and film whilst I was there. Just join me in the kitchen. In fact, we had gone to Manchester simply to just spend some time with the family, nothing more. Then I started cooking, and after a few minutes I thought to myself, this actually would make quite a nice little video. So I found the most sophisticated filming equipment known to mankind. I balanced my iPhone inside a cupboard. If you have ever arrived at Manchester Piccadilly, you will recognize it immediately. We had a lovely wander around the city before heading back to the flat. But tonight's dinner is much simpler. A little lemon, some almonds over here, some Grana Padano or Parmesan cheese, a little garlic, and these beautiful greens which you've seen me picking from the garden earlier. Nothing complicated, which, if you know me by now, is exactly how I like it. Meanwhile, back in Manchester, 3 eggplants, about 1 kilogram altogether. I trimmed a little from each end and sliced them roughly 1 centimeter thick. I did not want them too thin because they shrink in the oven and I wanted them to keep some structure. One of the things that I love about cooking is that every kitchen tells a different story. Today there is a mountain of green in front of me. On Saturday I was surrounded by eggplants. And with every kitchen and different recipes comes diversity, and with diversity comes fun, of course. Back in Manchester I mixed olive oil with oregano and brushed each eggplant on both sides. And I placed them in the oven for 8 minutes. Then I got them out, I turned them around, I placed them inside the oven for a further 8 minutes, and by the time they came out the second time round, they had become soft and flexible, which is exactly what I wanted. I always think that the nicest meals sometimes are those that you do not plan. You open the fridge, you look inside and you think, oh, what shall we cook tonight? And that is when I saw the tomatoes. So whilst the eggplants were cooking, I decided to make a tomato salad. Tomatoes, grana shavings, olive oil, salt, pepper, thin slices of red onion and a little balsamic vinegar. Then Ryan reminded me that he had bought some chicken tikka a couple of days earlier and it needed to be used. So in the salad it went, and it was really nice.
And then out came the rustic Italian bread. Otherwise it cannot really be an Italian meal.
And while that was all happening in Manchester, tonight I'm making a completely different dinner, but exactly from the same philosophy. Use what you've got and don't waste anything. And of course, try and have some fun along the way. I wish you could hear what was going on whilst I was cooking. We had ABBA blasting out, but unfortunately YouTube policies prevent me from playing the music because of copyrights. And every family gathering produces at the least one unexpected moment. Ours involved Gabriela suddenly running towards the bathroom in her pyjamas. I shall leave the explanation to your imagination. And once the eggplants had cooled down slightly, they were beautifully inflexible, so I paired them together. I added some ham, some Edam cheese, another slice of eggplant on top, and then a very important step. I pressed really firmly, otherwise everything will fall apart later. And whilst I'm doing this today, the smell of lemon is absolutely filling the kitchen and reminds me how simple it is to create something so beautiful from very simple and humble ingredients. Once I finished all of my parcels, I moved each individual little sandwich into the flour first, then I coated them in egg and over to the breadcrumbs. I placed them inside a little oven tray. I put a little drizzle of olive oil on top, and in the oven they went again for 10 minutes at 180 degrees. After the first 10 minutes I got them out, I turned them around, drizzled a little bit more olive oil, and in the oven they went again for another 10 minutes. Then I noticed that I had some breadcrumbs left and some egg wash, so I decided I cannot possibly waste this. So I disposed of the flour first, then I mixed the breadcrumbs with the egg, then I added a splash of milk, a little bit more cheese, another egg, and mixed everything together, and I made a lovely omelette. I flipped it 2 minutes before the end, and there it is, a side dish ready, no time at all, nothing wasted. Ryan was in charge of the serving whilst I started on the washing up. Julie, as usual, was in charge of the eating. And the cheese inside my eggplant parcels was oozing, and they were beautiful and crispy and absolutely delicious. Two different meals, both delicious for two different reasons. But tonight's meal is much simpler. I'm making some cold lemon pasta with some grounded almonds, some Parmesan cheese, and also you'll see me that I put the zest from a lemon and mixed everything in the food processor. I will be adding also some greens, which I picked from the garden. I'll just get my tongs over here. This is optional. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but I think adds a beautiful flavor and texture to my complete meal. I think I made more than what I need, so I'm just going to help myself. And we will be enjoying this cold later today. I'm just carrying a little water from over here also. I'm using spirals as I think they lend themselves better for cold pasta. If you click on more in the description, you will find the full list of ingredients and cooking method for both recipes. Basil, if you got some, the king of summer freshness. Hopefully you will enjoy making this recipe or the eggplant parcels, and you have enjoyed spending some time with me. Oh, this is delicious. It's still a lukewarm, but I will place it in the fridge as I mentioned before, and I will love mine cold. And I genuinely hope you make this. Also, you make the eggplant parcels, and you enjoy them as much as I have. Thank you very much, and buon appetito. Ciao, ciao.